Welcome to Raising Scholars. I'm Jacquie Langworthy, education leader and mom, and I'm here to help you raise confident, independent learners. In every episode, you'll get simple strategies you can use right away, built on the R.A.I.S.E Scholar Framework: confidence, consistency, and independence, without pressure and without power struggles. Let's get into it. I want you to imagine something that probably feels very familiar. Your child brings home their report card. You see mostly A's and B's, maybe even straight A's. The teacher says they're doing great. There are no red flags, no urgent concerns. Everything looks fine. And yet, something doesn't feel completely right. Homework takes longer than you expect. They hesitate more than they used to. Or you notice that things they learned before don't feel automatic anymore. Nothing dramatic, nothing alarming, just small signals. If you ever had that quiet instinct that something isn't fully solid, even when everything looks good on paper, I want you to know you are not overreacting. You are paying attention. And today, we're going to talk about how to spot learning gaps early. Not learning disabilities, not failing students, but capable, intelligent students whose growth has quietly slowed, stalled, or become fragile beneath the surface. Because grades alone do not tell the full story. And clarity, not panic, is what allows you to support your child with confidence. I learned this lesson firsthand with my own daughter. She entered kindergarten already reading at about a 2nd to 3rd grade level. She loved books. She read fluently. She comprehended deeply. She was ahead. So naturally, everything seemed to be progressing exactly as it should. And for a while it was. Her reading levels continued to move forward. But when she reached 2nd grade, I noticed something that most people would have completely missed. Her reading levels stopped changing. She wasn't struggling, she wasn't behind, but she wasn't growing. Her fluency was still strong, her comprehension was still strong, but she was no longer being pushed beyond what was considered grade level. And most parents would have felt reassured. She's ahead. She's fine. But stagnation, especially in a capable student, is a signal. Not of failure, but of missed opportunity for growth. Because confidence is not built by staying comfortable. Confidence is built by continuing to stretch. And this is where many learning gaps begin, not below grade level, but beneath the surface of doing fine. I see this exact pattern all the time in math. A student brings home good grades. The teachers say they're doing well. Everything appears solid. But when I sit beside them and observe how they're solving the problems, I notice something subtle but important. They're still counting on their fingers. Or they're pausing to reconstruct facts that should already be automatic. They eventually get to the right answer, but it takes more effort than it should. This matters more than most people realize because math is cumulative. Each new concept builds on the previous concepts. And when foundational skills are not automatic, higher level math becomes harder. Not because the student isn't capable, but because their cognitive energy is being spent on basics instead of problem solving. Grades alone don't reveal this. Observation does. I also see this in students who are incredibly well behaved. They follow directions, they complete assignments, they don't disrupt class. They are the students teachers describe as wonderful. But compliance can hide uncertainty because these students don't ask questions when they're unsure. They work harder to compensate. And from the outside, everything looks fine. But internally, their confidence is more fragile than it appears. This is why grades can be deceiving. Grades measure performance in a specific moment. They measure effort. They measure completion, but they do not always measure mastery. Mastery shows up differently. Mastery shows up in fluency, in retention, in independence. So let me give you something extremely practical. Here are 5 specific early warning signs that parents often miss. Not because they aren't paying attention, but because these signs are subtle. The first is hesitation when starting work. Children with strong mastery begin more quickly. Children with fragile mastery stall. They sharpen pencils. They delay. They hesitate. This hesitation is not laziness, it's uncertainty. The second is inconsistent retention. If your child understands something today but struggles with the same concept days later, that skill has not yet moved into the long-term memory. True mastery stays accessible. The third is excessive effort for simple tasks. If homework consistently takes much longer than expected, your child may be compensating for gaps in fluency. They are working hard but inefficiently. The fourth is dependence on support. If your child relies heavily on your presence to complete work, they may not yet feel fully confident in their independence with that skill. And the fifth is lack of progression. Even advanced students should continue growing. If skills remain static for extended periods, it's worth understanding why. Now, here's the most important part. None of these signs require panic. They require observation. So let me show you exactly what you can do this week. First, observe without intervening immediately. Sit nearby while your child works. Do not assist right away. Watch how quickly they start. Watch how confidently they proceed. Watch where they hesitate. You are gathering information, not correcting performance. Second, ask your child to teach you, not repeat. Teach. Say, "Show me how you do this." When your child can teach a concept clearly, that's evidence of mastery. When they struggle to explain it, that's valuable insight, not failure. Third, pay attention to speed and ease. Mastered skills feel easier, not effortless, but efficient. If everything feels difficult, foundational fluency may still be developing. Fourth, create consistency. Short daily practice strengthens retention far more effective than occasional review. 5 to 10 minutes of repetition daily builds stability. And fifth, allow productive struggle. Resist the urge to immediately correct or rescue. Independence builds confidence. Constant intervention builds dependence. This connects directly to one of the most important pillars of the R.A.I.S.E Scholar Framework. Evidence builds confidence. Confidence does not come from praise alone. It comes from experience, from repetition, from seeing progress firsthand. When children feel their own growth, their confidence becomes stable, not dependent on reassurance, but grounded in capability. And I want to address something many parents quietly wonder. What if I notice a gap? Noticing early is the best possible outcome because early gaps are easier to strengthen. They require less time, less frustration, and far less emotional impact. The real risk is not noticing. The real risk is assuming everything is fine without clarity, because the cost of "they'll catch up" can be significant. Small gaps can compound, confidence can erode, learning can feel harder than it should. But when gaps are identified early, growth accelerates quickly and confidence follows. Extra support, when done correctly, strengthens independence, but extra support that replaces effort can mask problems. The goal is not to make work easier. The goal is to make skills stronger. True mastery looks like independence. It looks like efficiency. It looks like retention. It looks like confidence without hesitation. So here's your simple plan moving forward. Observe. Ask your child to teach you. Allow independence. Provide consistent repetition and trust your instincts. You don't need to panic. You don't need to overcorrect. You simply need clarity, because clarity allows you to respond intentionally. Your child does not need perfection. They need growth. They need stability. They need evidence of their own progress. And when they have that evidence, their confidence becomes unshakable. You're not just helping them succeed today, you're strengthening the foundation they will build on for years to come. Thank you for being the kind of parent who pays attention. Thank you for choosing growth over assumption. And thank you for raising a scholar. I'll see you next time. If this episode resonated with you, the most powerful thing you can do is take one small step today. Consistency, not perfection, is what changes outcomes. And if you found value in this conversation, I invite you to subscribe. Share this episode with another parent and continue this journey with me. You can also visit the link in the show notes for additional resources, tools, and ways to support your child's growth. Because the work you're doing matters more than you realize. You're not just helping your child succeed in school. You're helping them build confidence, independence, and belief in themselves. This is Raising Scholars, and I'm Jacquie Langworthy, cheering you on as you raise a confident, independent scholar. I'll see you in the next episode.